Everybody stand up. Have you ever been there? Stand up. Identify. Stand up. Tell us all about it. Stand up. Testify.
Welcome, everybody, to week number 20 of the BEBC
BS
Podcast.
Get up.
Get up, get down, Saturday morning. Stand up, sit down.
Fight.
Whoa, what a night it was last night at Dargon Stadium. Another night, another Eagle victory.
It was spectacularific.
That's a new word.
I'm trying to channel that. It's just not working.
Yeah.
Can't do it. There's only one.
Thad is not in the house tonight, this morning. Whatever it is. Thad is out making money. Printing money, making money. He
Literally.
Hundreds
of millions of dollars.
What did he say last night? He printed $89 million worth of money yesterday. And he said that was a slow day.
Yeah.
I told him he printed enough to cover Jimbo Fisher's new contract at A&M. So there you go, Aggies. There's your money. Congratulations on stealing my coach.
You pulled an SMU. You ponied up.
There you go. Welcome back into the fold. One Nolan Schrader.
The king of flatulence.
Oh my gosh.
Really, we don't need to
No
go
more
there.
though. We should save that for the open forum. We can talk about your
All right.
Open.
He's been cleansed.
your experience yesterday
Hail.
because we do public service announcements on this podcast. So
We do.
there you go.
Nifty
So,
50. Anyway,
yeah, welcome to the
game.
50s, brother.
Yeah, thank you.
Back to the game.
It was a rude awakening.
It was. I enjoyed the heck out of that game.
48-25. The Eagles smacked down, and I'm just going to say it, smacked down.
The Warriors.
That was a very nice, complete game from the Allen Eagles.
No matter what some people may have you believe.
Yeah.
That was a total effort. The team was so committed.
Obviously, you guys know I was not able to make the game because of
Yeah,
what
whatever.
took place yesterday, but so I had the pleasure of watching it. Yeah, shut up. Had the pleasure of watching the game on TV and was keeping track of certain people on Twitter and the gall that a lot of people have going, well, I expected better or expected more. I'm like going, what the heck do you want? I mean, how can this team please you? They did everything they could do. They fixed some screw-ups on their end. I mean, let's be honest, it wasn't a clean game, but there were some mental mistakes. But when it was all said and done, they jammed it down their throat and scored, God's amount of points in the second half and took over and dominated that game, period.
Well, obviously, the first half, there were some things that went against them, went wrong. But that shows you the resiliency of sticking in there, and the team hung in there, came out in the second half, and it was lights out.
Let's go back and review game, okay?
Yeah.
Eagles win the toss. Allen says, that's it. Get on the bus, going home. We won. So there you go. They defer. We kick off. Martin gets a penalty, a question. And again, I haven't watched everything yet. And they never did.
There was no hold.
Yeah.
The only time that he
Lloyd.
came in contact with that guy was when they all collided.
And
There's no way he could have held.
And the field judge from 30 yards back up field threw the flag. And you're like, seriously, dude? But anyhow, they get that. Martin goes back to pass. And as we all discussed, if you make this team pass the ball,
You're lost.
You got it.
you're probably going to beat them. And sure enough, that quarterback he overthrew everybody except for Mr. Taj Bickham.
Which was very nice of him to do.
What a great run back with that
50,
ball.
50 yards for a pick six. Way to go, Taj.
Way to go, Taj, and way to go the rest of the defense for turning into offensive blockers, baby. There was a lot of nice blocking without blocking in the back,
Yep. Good job.
holding,
Clean.
anything.
Clean the whole way through.
Defense played a great game last
They
night.
did. You turn up,
Clean
you
is a
look,
very important word.
7-0. Eagles. Offense hasn't been on the field. You go, that was nice.
Good start.
So, kick the extra point, kick off. Martin gets a better return this time.
Yep.
And for the next 7 minutes of the game, it's all Martin, and there's penalties, and there's fourth
calls and
downs,
fourth downs,
and they get down in the red zone inside the 10-yard line, and what does the defense do? Holds them. Doesn't let them get in that end zone.
Had to go for the field goal.
There were the trick plays, the trick formations. Wager's doing what Wager does, and
let me stop you there. Which was brought up on the telecast.
Oh, was it?
Because it was brought up the fact that Wager was already going to trick plays, and the guys on the broadcast, Doogie, and them were like, if you have to go to trick plays this early in the game, that's not a good look.
Yeah, we waited until late in the game to do our
Yeah, exactly.
And it was a great
It was a
trick
great
play.
one.
Oh, yes.
Way to go, Stacy Alford.
Yeah. So you hold him to a field goal. It's 7-3, and you say, okay, well, that was good. We held down to 3. Offense, finally, I think there was 4 minutes left in the first quarter, and the offense finally gets on the field.
Right.
And it's a 3 and out.
And 5 plays. We had 5 plays in the first quarter. 3 of those, 3 and out.
And you're like, ugh. I mean, you kind of puke in your mouth a little bit. That barbecue wasn't selling very well.
Yeah.
And I'm like, okay, what's happening here? We punt. Martin can't do anything with it. And then the second quarter comes along, and by golly, guess who shows up?
5-star.
5-star Theo Weiss makes you
Dogging that poor DB all night.
Your boy.
my
I
boy.
was going to say, whose boy is
That's
that?
my boy.
You got a son, but he's
I've got
your
a
boy.
son,
Yeah.
but Theo's my boy, and Theo knows it. And he did what Theo does, and he, granted, the passes weren't perfect.
Granted, yeah. Hey,
Grant?
But that's
I
what-
see what you
ever
did there.
underthrows.
You see what
He
I-
hardly ever underthrows, but Theo made the play.
And he
It was
just,
beautiful.
as you said, he dogged that corner all night, and he dogged him for a 37-yard touchdown pass, thing of beauty. And it's 14-3, and you're going, all right, what do you got, Wager? And he didn't have anything. I mean, he
Out of
tried.
mistakes, you can't count on the other team to make mistakes.
Yeah, you can, and Martin scores, and makes it 14-10, and you're like, meh, what's going on here? And I may have my timeline wrong. I can't remember because that was the first half. Was the first half that we had the punt issue? The punt
Yes.
did or did not hit. Taj on the hip. We have one person says it did. One person I haven't seen the replay yet. But anyhow, they call it
Marcus
that way.
goes down to try and get it, and then
Yeah.
Martin ends up getting the ball on the 6-yard line.
And they score, and you go, okay, mistake on our part. We gave that one to them. It's 14-10,
Right.
And then Allen comes back before half, scores, makes it 21-10 on Brock starts heating up a little bit. And, then we have Martin scores just before half.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So, and they muff the snap on the extra point.
point,
So it's
yeah.
21-16 at half, and we're all sitting there
15.
going, no,
16. Would have
Oh,
been
that's right,
17.
16. Yeah, you're right.
Leave the math to us, sir.
I'm still under an influence.
We know.
Hello.
Hello. And so there you have it. You've got a 21-16 score at halftime. Mr. Wright, your thoughts at halftime. What were your thoughts at halftime? God, wake him up down there.
I don't know. You caught me. I was
Daydreaming.
Well, my thoughts were that
thinking of conduit inside.
I think we had at least 3 instances where they took our so-called pooch kick, which was a little bit too far of a pooch,
Yeah.
down the sidelines for a big gang. One of them came back on a penalty, which
On a hold.
thank goodness,
Yeah, holding penalty.
because that was all the way down to like the 20. But I think I like the pooch kick idea, but I think he pooched it way too far. If he's going to do that, might as well just kick it all the way down to the goal line.
Fine-tune your pooch.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, in my whole thing, I sat there at halftime and I thought,
And
the three times that they scored, the drive was kept alive as a result of a penalty.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And I'll tell you, that stinking on that offside, he was a yard away from the ball.
Yeah.
There was no way.
Mo.
Mo.
Yeah, there was no way he was offside.
We
And
got
I don't
your
know
back,
what
Mo.
that clown was thinking. I mean, because their
Phantom
defensive
flag.
line is closer to the ball. Martin's defensive line was closer to the ball than Mo was on that play, and they never got called for offside. So that guy, and that's one of those moments when sometimes in the game when we're paranoid and we think these refs are against us.
It's not going our way.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well,
And that was a fourth
they're
down. for
actively-
them.
it was
Yeah.
a fourth down. It
Yeah.
would have been 4th and
Because
7.
they overthrew that tight end on
Yeah,
that.
it was 4th and 7, and so now all of a sudden it's 4th and 2. So they do get the first down, and that's one of those times when you think before this game, these guys were talking while they were at McDonald's having a Happy Meal, and because they didn't get the toy they wanted, all of a sudden they're like, Allen wins too much. We got to do what we can to make sure they don't win, because there's no way that penalty and the holding, because number 8 is that Takai?
Takai, yeah.
Man, all these names are killing. Takai wasn't even near the guy until they collided. How can you hold somebody if you run into each other?
Yep.
A lot of phantom flags
Yes.
being thrown last night, and that was obviously it's a little bit pointed out on the telecast last night, but yeah, it's like you said, that was definitely brought up, and and the other thing was that was a late flag on that 4th down play in offsides. That flag came in late.
Well, the guy was standing right there, and as soon as the play started, he threw it up in the air. I'm like, you were going to throw that before that thing even started. But anyway, whatever. Watch the game. So that's what I was thinking at halftime.
Okay.
Thank you.
Yeah, well, I wanted to know. Because sometimes it's hard to read you, so I always wonder what is going on in that mind of yours.
Yeah,
We
good
don't wonder
question.
that.
Nobody, my psychiatrist doesn't even know that. Dr. Sphincter, he's a German psychiatrist.
What? Doctor who?
Dr. Sphincter is a German psychiatrist that I go to. He is in Plano, Texas.
He went from German to Spanish. Well, there was a lot going on in that statement. So 21
multilingual,
yeah.
like David.
21-16 at halftime. I'm thinking, okay, we made some mistakes that gave them probably 2 their touchdowns.
Yeah.
The field goal, obviously, they had to earn, but there were a couple calls on it too. But you're like, okay, I'm feeling pretty good. The one thing that I liked at halftime was we had the ball 5 times. First time was 3 and out. We scored 3 touchdowns, and then we had 2 plays right before half, which what in the world is going on there? But yeah,
54 seconds left, and it's like, okay.
One of the highlights.
2 sacks.
One of the comments on the paper says halftime adjustments ignite Allen. That's true. They always come out the second half making those adjustments, and they roll right down the field just like they've done before. First, right out of the blocks, and just push everybody back and score.
Yeah, we were sitting on the front row of the upper deck there, and the coaches came by to get to the locker room. They all came down, and boy, they were
Stony face looks on those faces.
usually they're joking, and they'll say hi to us or whatever, and there was none of that going on. We reached out to them, and there was
Nothing.
Well, you got to close your eyes and imagine the locker room at halftime.
yep.
Do your job.
Jeez.
Jeez, dude.
That's it. Hey, don't worry about anything that's gone wrong.
Yep.
Don't worry about anything else. Just do your job. Do what you've trained to do all week. We heard it, from Terry. He said they had a great week of practice. It went well. You practice well, you should play well. And they brought it out in the second half. It was a thing of beauty. That third quarter was amazing.
Yeah, it's probably one of the best quarters of football they've played all year. And it started from the get-go. They started feeding the rock to Brock.
Yep.
You know?
I've been waiting all week to see
I
it.
have.
It was like first half was one game plan, and the second half was a completely different game plan.
And Brock started heating up a little bit, and then we go back to 5-star for another, and God bless Wager, and I'll never understand. To me, coaching isn't that hard sometimes. But why the heck you left him one-on-one thinking you're
The whole game.
the whole game? And granted, well, there I go again with that word.
He's your other boy.
Allen
Stepped
struggled passing the ball, obviously. They were only 4 of 10, and it wasn't exactly, and all 4 went to Theo. And so, Carson had a drop later in the game we'll talk about, but it wasn't pretty. And so maybe he just thought, hey, He's held him to 4, but 3 of them were touchdowns, dude, and they would not roll the safety over to him. And if you throw the ball up, you know, I heard, I can't remember, I went totally blank just then. Boom.
Shakalaka.
Boom. Oh, on Fox Sports last night, you know, I don't know whether it was Tepper or
Renner. Yeah.
Called Theo the Des Bryant of high school football.
Gosh, let's not build his head up too
Wow.
big.
And I was just like, well, I understand what he's saying. You throw the ball up, Theo goes and gets it. And he did, 23-yard touchdown, and you're up, okay, 28-16. You're like, that was impressive because it was quick and it was dominant. You just looked at it and thought,
wow,
train's starting to roll.
Yeah.
Here we go. And defense comes out, holds them. Guess what? We get the ball back. And then it is a whole snoot full of broth.
fest, man. It's a hog fest. And that one run by Grant, and all of a sudden he starts getting hit, and that offensive line gets behind him, and we got the bush push like halfway down the field.
That was awesome.
That was awesome. So everyone, the whole line got behind him and pushed him for another 10 yards down the field.
And the best part was when Grant broke out of that melee there, he was pumped. He was jacked up, man, just excited. And I love seeing that. Because, I mean, he's got a lot of stuff going on, but it's great seeing him that excited. So keep it up.
Yeah, he doesn't show a lot of emotion on the field.
Which that's not necessarily a bad thing.
Yeah.
But he was pumped.
Yep.
He was excited. That drive ends with a Brock Sturgis. I'm taking 2 of you in the end zone with me.
That was so beautiful.
Let's go bowling and pick up the spare.
Oh my God!
Who got the number of that truck?
Oh, it was wow. You just sat there and went, he just did that. And you know, and all night long though, Brock was finishing runs.
Yeah.
Oh.
You know, he'd get hit at 2 yards and he'd end up with 7, or he'd get hit at 5 and end up with 10.
And like you've said before, he always falls forward.
He does. And
The
he
only
fell.
time he didn't was when he ran into Trey Statler's butt and stopped immediately.
Yeah,
man.
he knocked
Power
him
back.
down.
Who was the Jets quarterback that got the fumble after hitting his own players? But Mark Sanchez.
Yeah. But God, yeah, Brock all night long.
Yeah.
It was
How many yards do you have? 200 and 205?
206.
206.
205
Hey, but he's up to
on
1,720 yards.
19 rushes.
Closing in on Jay Will, man.
Yeah.
180 of those yards were all in the second half.
Yeah. And so they turned him loose. And, you know, the O-line loves that. You know, let's just run. You know, the Eagles end up with 363 yards rushing, which, wow. It's impressive because when that starts happening, you can just see the life being sucked.
Their heads were hanging and
Well, and their offense wasn't helping them at all at that point too. Their best bet would have been a very high scoring game.
I've never seen a shot put passing game like that in my life.
One thing they did, they came out that second half and started feeding Jack Fee the ball,
that's
running
great.
sideline to sideline,
Yeah.
and running those guys, the
Wearing
defense,
wearing them out.
wearing them completely out. Then they run up the middle,
Yep.
you know, and they're so weak they can't tackle anybody.
Hey, kudos
It's
to
a great
Jack
plan.
Fee. You got to pay the fee, brother.
You've been waiting all the way for that.
And I was telling Thad, it was beautiful in that second half because after every run, you'd see 3 or 4 Martin guys laying on the ground.
Yeah.
Where our guys were pancake them and throwing them to the ground.
You know, and there have been people, and again, the noise is what the noise is, but there are people calling for changes, you know, and on the first series of the game, they have Jack Fee running a fly route, and you're like,
What?
never seen that before, you know, and usually that's a Carson route or something, or Theo, and you're like, that was weird, you know, and then the sweep with Fee was a new wrinkle that they haven't been using much, if at all, and, you know, Jack played well and ran hard. I love Jack when he just runs hard. And
You know that you talked about, you know, Brock pushing 2 guys into the end zone. Remember, into the third quarter, maybe it was the fourth quarter when EJ pushed that big old line.
number 75.
I mean, it's like took one hand and threw him like 15 yards down the field. He landed on his face.
Did you see that on TV?
I didn't see that on TV.
It was hilarious.
Dude.
I'm hoping I got that.
The guy was struggling getting up.
The guy's
Take
laying
his
on his
head.
back, looking at the ref going, what do I get? EJ's just like, I got you.
That ref's like going, you just got spanked.
And that was a big old boy. That boy, I don't know what he went, but he's
He went.
He was.
He wasn't. He didn't go as big as EJ.
Oh my gosh. Way to go, EJ. But so you look up and all of a sudden there's 2 touchdowns added on and it's 35-16. And you're going, all right, feeling a whole lot better now. And Martin gets 1 score, make it 35-23, but we give the ball back. And then Mr. Sturgis
Takes over again.
on a trick play.
Oh, that was
Dominant.
so.
Trick.
Or
There was
a wildcat, whatever.
There was a trick play.
Gets the ball.
It was brilliance.
Yep.
And then he does his vision thing.
Okay, so see, so that was the deal where Grant was kind of going in motion.
Talking to
Side
He was,
line.
yeah, he was talking to it like he was
And
changing the
it
play.
was a
Audibly.
wildcat.
Yes.
Which was a trick play that Arlington Martin had used during the season.
In your face,
That's
Wager.
ironic.
So, and then again, the vision takes over because he goes up the middle.
Was that his
starts
59 yard?
Yeah,
Yeah.
starts left and
Up the
cuts
middle
back
and then
right.
cuts
See,
right.
when I saw that flag come up, I thought,
Oh, here we go again.
well, they got who I see, and I couldn't see
In
'cause
motion.
it was right in front of us sideways, and I thought,
Illegal
yeah,
motion.
illegal
Yeah.
motion.
Yep. But no, it was
Offsides.
offsides.
Yeah,
And makeup call,
I thought
know.
it was that same guy with the crossed eyes that called Mo on the
It
offside.
was the same guy.
There you go.
I'd like to ask Grant, what he was actually saying as he's walking down that line.
We should do that. He'll
That'd
tell
be kind
us.
of fun.
Blue 42.
But,
Utah, Omaha.
There you go.
Hey,
And
we're
it's
gonna direct snap back. Get ready
Kill,
to go.
kill.
42-23, and all the people on the other side
Started
start.
leaving.
Oh, the trickle.
Oh, they pulled a band parent.
Wow.
No, they were later than that.
Yeah.
Um,
They pulled a you're losing spy.
So in the spirit of Nolan Schrader Thursday night, we can say that Martin began to trickle.
they did trickle.
Okay.
There was more than a trickle. It was kind of like a major flow.
You could see the tail
Allen
lights
flushed him down the drain.
out of South Lake Dragon Stadium, and off they went. And there you go. And game over at that point. And
Obviously
obviously we scored one more touchdown. And
Hey, they got a 2-point.
Ian
Safety.
Davis scores. Go to kick the extra point. It's blocked, and the kid runs it all the way back. And, woo! Their fans go nuts, and I'm like, "Good for you!"
That lucky bounce right up into his hands.
Yeah, 89 yards. There,
They got a couple of those during the game. That fumble that bounced right into the that receiver's hands, and he
Oh, really?
yeah.
Fumbled 5 or 6 yards forward.
and it just
Guy picks
thank
it up.
you.
That was the perfect.
Oh, it was a
it was
perfect
the
bounce.
bounce. It
Yeah.
just bounced right.
Would it
up
be
to
kind of like our game against DeSoto where the ball's caught on the 2-yard line and he throws it forward?
Yeah.
It's crazy. So
Rossi
Yeah.
to Petty John.
Rossi to Petty John. Yeah.
a game which many of the quote unquote experts either thought Allen would not win or would be close.
Well, I
wasn't.
think the only expert that picked them was Dunny. Pat's done.
Pat, I tweeted Pat. I said, "Come on, go, you have a little faith." I said, But anyhow, another Eagle victory, and this was impressive. And
Dominant
was it perfect?
victory.
No, it'll never be perfect. And
But you look at the
so
game
chill
with
out,
a little
people.
wider eyes. It was a dominating
Well,
performance.
there was comments stating that this would be Allen's best challenge all year long.
well,
This game.
and especially after last weekend. Bless everybody's heart. I've been thinking about last week's game over and over again. It just frustrates me to no end. Allen only scored 20 on South Grand Prairie. Well, guess what? South Grand Prairie only
scored
gave
14.
up 29 points. Was the most they gave up all year.
Yep.
So, what were you expecting? I mean, everybody wants more. They held Duncanville to 28. They held DeSoto to 17. Martin scored 29 on them. That was a very good defense last week.
There are teams out there that play well. Y'all need to figure that out.
Words of wisdom from Nolan Schrader.
Yeah, and this is we've said it all year. This is a different type of football.
When did we get to the point where a win is not good enough?
Oh, let's see.
About 50 years ago.
Yeah.
Well, and let's be honest. Agree with you. There is room for discussion about cleaning up penalties. They had 8 penalties, 60 yards. That's a little messy, but that's an ongoing concern. That's an ongoing thing. There's some people that want to complain about the play calling and the offensive schemes. there's just so much that we don't know. It's what's going on, personnel, capabilities, all of that stuff. So, okay, you can have the discussion, but let's support this team. We got to get behind the team and just support them.
Agreed. Bottom line is you can watch all the film in the whole entire world on a team that you're playing week, and until you get on the field with them and see exactly what they're doing, you're never going to have a perfect game plan. And so be it. I mean, the goal is stay close, or in this case, be ahead and still be in the lead at halftime. And then what do? We go in, we always make the adjustments, unlike some teams out there. We make the adjustments, and guess what? Second half, it's a completely different team, and we show what Allen really is. So what do you people want out there? I mean, good night.
You mean, you people?
You people.
Yeah, I mean, it was a 27
It is.
to 9 game after halftime. No, and that it. I'm gonna die over here. I'm choking on something, but
Drink your dang Pepsi.
yes, sir. Okay. Well, y'all talk then.
It's mother's milk. Well, for me it is.
No.
Okay, you ready?
I was showing that Thursday.
Okay. I'm going devil's advocate.
All right.
Go for it.
Okay.
All right. So
Majority
if
of the
the
crowd.
mighty Katy Tigers,
Oh wow, we're really going out there.
and people always just take one game at a time. Well, I'm not a coach, and we're just talking about because that's what we do.
Yeah.
So let's say that we win next week, etc., etc., and so we end up playing Katy, and they have such a great run defense, whatever.
Oh, man,
and so let's say that they slow our running game down to the point that we have to pass. We only passed Schlecker and Theo. I mean, McGee has caught a couple passes,
Yeah.
but we haven't developed a passing game. And it's not
Because we
and
haven't-
I'm sick of people. Well, because we haven't had to.
Had to.
But
But-
what if we have to? And that's what I'm saying.
Can you just turn the switch on
Right.
and make it happen?
Yeah.
Again.
Well, I hope. But hang on, y'all.
This
This is my thing. I was talking to James about this last night. The reason that we don't have a short passing game is because our offensive line cannot pass block. Watch the game tonight, or watch last night's
Rewatch
game
it.
on the TV, and Grant goes back to pass, and he's got somebody in his face right away, and so he doesn't. He
got to
can't
scramble.
complete a short pass, or the pass routes are all too long to develop. But that's my whole thing as far as being complete. It would be nice to see that, and like you say, you don't have to, but it would be if it comes down to these next 3 games where we have to rely on a passing game to open up our running game. I hope that it's there.
All right, I'm going to counter
Count
your
You're
comment for the simple fact.
You're
Just
the double devil's advocate.
devil's
doubling down.
advocate. The play calls that we have been called in the game in the last couple weeks have been very long developing. You say the line can't pass block. I say I will beg to differ on that. If we had a shorter developing play, like a quicker pass play, the line is doing their job. It's those long plays. It's the long developing plays where, Grant's sitting here in the pocket waiting. Yeah, you're eventually going to get kids in there, and it showed last night. They're to come in here and pressure him. But we always go for the Hail Mary. The pass plays are these long Hail Mary type plays. Hey, we've got the kids to catch them, absolutely, but we do need to work on more quick, short. Let our we got great receivers. Once they catch the ball, they can do magic.
Well, one of them can. The other side, I'm still not sure about that.
I would just my thoughts on that, and I understand your point well because I mentioned it to several people last night. Passing game needs to improve in the next couple of weeks, or it has to have the ability. But if you look out through the season, if you go back and look, it was there, and it has been there. Now, granted, the competition's different, but it's there. They know what to do. Maybe they're not executing the way they should at the moment, but again, when you're rushing for 350 yards, you're not gonna, But I understand. I totally get it.
Because
that
watch the
defensive
replay
line
on
was
that game.
fast.
It is amazing how he goes back
And someone's right there.
He looks and somebody's right there. So he does that thing where he goes out and that's where he.
Well, and
but just watch that.
Yeah, and again, I'll go back and say this wasn't perfect by any means.
No.
You know, then there's
you got to give the defensive line for Martin a little bit of credit.
They had speed.
They weren't huge, but exactly
They were
had
rushing
speed.
5 and 6.
Yeah.
Okay.
And you're going to face that. You're going to have to be able to deal with that.
You know,
David?
I don't know, and we're not all coaches, and I'm just
we are too.
throwing this out there.
In our own mind.
But when we run the ball, most of the time it's up the middle. Okay, so most of their linebackers and stuff are going to be in the middle part of the field.
Well, and when we started out,
when
we tried to
for
run
us to
outside,
do
you got-
slants and sharp across the middle, and I'm just thinking this, maybe we need to start it with running to the outside to where those guys are more to the outside. Then you can open up your receiver across the middle on a slant maybe.
when that first 3 and out, we did do that. We tried to get Jack Fee
Right.
out around the corner,
Right.
and that got shut down.
Yeah.
I
And
don't
I'm
know
just
if they
saying,
abandoned it, but
I'm just saying maybe that's their thinking. I
can
don't
agree
know.
with that.
Maybe I need to look at that more.
Yeah.
And I agree. I think when we have done the slants, I mean, it's great.
Yeah. That's my
And
point.
other teams do it against us all the time.
Yeah.
Run across the middle. So I think that's where we're getting the fact, hey, well, why don't we slant? Well, maybe we're
And we brought up
running the ball wrong.
We brought up the fact earlier, they're running Jack Fee left and right and so forth, and that was wearing those guys out.
Yeah.
And then we would push it up the middle. And Jack, Jack was awesome. He was getting 7, 8, 9 yards
Yeah.
a run every
turn
time
on a
he was.
dime.
He would turn on a dime and get upfield.
and let's look at their pass coverage too, because they were running man coverage for the most part, and so when you're running man coverage, it's a little
You
harder.
got a lot of people on the line.
It's a little harder to do that crossing route when you've got man coverage, but it's going to be a challenge.
Well, again, I totally get what you're saying, Mr. Bright. It makes perfect sense. I'm going to sit here and say I hope we don't have to, and
And that would be awesome.
that wouldn't be. Yeah, that would be.
On the 24th, the morning of the 24th, when I wake up and
Yeah.
Allen has won another championship, I'll say, who needs a freaking passing game? You know what I mean?
Well, I mean, you go back and look though. We had 3 touchdown passes last night, so
Yeah.
it's
To
there.
one.
Should have been 4.
Mm-hmm.
That basket drop.
Bless his heart.
Bless his.
He's trying, and he's
playing
That's
playing
why
hurt.
he dropped it.
Yeah, and he'll be all right.
What's Theo's favorite word about catching?
Snatch.
And you don't
Snatch
the ball.
You don't snatch with your palms up at your waist.
That's true.
That's all I got.
I'll
to say
tell you
about
what,
that
though.
last time.
Grant threw that ball last night, and it was like a 9-iron.
It hit a cloud.
It was a
I saw it
pitching
hit a cloud.
I was like, is it
Kitchen
ever going to
wedge.
come down?
But dude, when it did, it was. Let's be honest, it was
perfect.
right there.
And when they first threw it, I looked at it and said, who's he throwing that to? Because I was like, there's nobody out there.
Yeah, it's
And then
thrown to
Carson
the
makes
middle
his
of the
break.
field,
Yeah.
and there's no one in the middle of the field.
No. It's like,
That's just like that. Remember that Coppell game a couple years ago where that quarterback was running around. He just threw the ball way out there. And then that big, huge tight end they had went
Yeah,
out
their
and
stud.
dove for it and
Their
caught
stud
it in the
guy.
middle of nowhere.
ugh.
That was that kind of pass.
And we haven't talked much about the defense last night, but they only gave up 195 yards total offense to a team that was averaging 46 points
That's huge.
49.
and over
46.
400 yards
Oh
offense.
yeah, 46-7. Sorry,
And
I read it wrong. I'm still under the influence.
it's math, and leave the numbers to us.
Can I say a first name?
You may.
Luke. What a freaking hit!
Oh my God.
He
Luke.
destroyed the quarterback.
Luke
And
Jackson.
so much so that Wager.
No, that's the wrong
Oh,
one.
I'm sorry.
But
We're
still.
talking where the quarterback rolled to his left,
Yes.
and Luke came out like shot out of a cannon.
Yeah.
Kyle
Yes.
drove.
Bam,
Oh,
fumble, quarterback
man.
recover, but
Yeah.
that was huge. And then Healy, towards the end of the
Healy,
game,
Number
that
10.
hit
Boom.
you love
came out
seeing
of
that.
He did not, and they had a camera behind the play, and all of a sudden, he's just sitting there waiting, and all of a sudden, Healy just comes out of nowhere with a split second, just walloped him. I mean,
It was awesome. I mean, you love it. You love seeing your linebackers be able to get to the quarterback like that and
Yeah.
finish when they get there.
Yes.
Not be faked out of their shoes.
Look cooler through binoculars.
No.
You're right there watching the sweat It's like those commercials, the Gatorade
Smack off at him.
commercials. Sweat just off their face.
And hair or no hair, to me, Wager's a class act because after the game, he was going up to him and he had like a 30-second talk with him. Yeah. Slapping him on the head. And I don't know, if
Gave him a
maybe
big old hug.
he was his big brother in an earlier life or whatever, and was just hugging on him and loving on him. And Wager, as far as I'm concerned, you're one of the classiest guys I've seen.
So kudos to him. And again, kudos to the team. Big win. On the next week, play the winner of Midland Lee and Trinity, who play today at 4 o'clock in Shotwell and Abilene.
So if Trinity wins, it's going to be at 1 o'clock at Apogee.
Pogie.
Ooh. Midland Lee, it'll be at Abilene. We don't know what time.
And we don't know which stadium either. It might be Shotwell.
Probably Shotwell.
But so next Saturday, we'll have a game against somebody.
Road trip of some sort.
Yeah, if you call Denton.
Do we have to go all the way up to Denton?
Yeah.
It's a long drive.
Maybe. So thoughts on Trinity, Midland Lee?
All I know about Trinity is, unlike the last couple of years, they can pass.
They can pass a little bit.
A little bit.
But that'll be enough. Trinity just passed a little bit with Brandon Carter and see where that got.
Yeah, but Brandon Carter Brandon was special.
He was a Kyler.
He made that
He was
team so much more explosive.
Yeah, he
than
was
used
special.
to.
So special, he ended up in jail.
Hey.
Just But it's enough there because the last 2 years we didn't have to worry about that.
Yeah, it's true.
But this year it's just enough.
This game to me is going to tell a lot. Everyone was talking about how well Odessa Permian was and how well Midland Lee is and so forth. We saw what happened last week with Arlington Martin beating Odessa Permian, which says a lot. And then obviously this game today will tell another story on is West Texas football back or is it just what people are wishing to be?
Midland Lee.
I mean they've got to.
Cedric Benson, maybe.
Yeah, they've got to.
What were they last year?
I don't know.
I mean,
I don't think they were in the playoffs.
Yeah,
last
I
year.
was starting to say I don't even recall seeing their name last year.
Well, see, you ask yourself, how deep are they? How broad of a
That's a question.
skill level do the players have across?
Most
Can they
teams that
hang?
we end up going against, that's always a question.
Well, again, you look at their level of competition and wonder, can they compete with Trinity? And we'll see. They have 3 backs that ran for over 1,000 yards that can score points. Can they score against Trinity?
Was that game against Duncanville for Trinity last week a fluke? Who knows?
Yeah.
Or are they just coming into their own playoff season?
Yeah.
I mean,
They
they've
tend to
won
do that.
10 in a row, so they lost their first 2 and have made.
They've been here before, obviously.
Yeah, so.
And I'd like to bring up something I was watching because I was
No.
okay, thanks.
Shut down,
I was
Man, a few words, David.
while I was watching the replay last night, my
Replay.
replay, DeAndre Davis.
Oh, DeAndre.
I sure hope
Hope
that
you're doing
after
well.
a couple days, his knee is better.
Yeah.
It looked like it was a medial the way his knee was bent.
Whoa, he's a trainer. Doctor.
Because you can see
Dr.
where
Wright.
his foot is outside, and so it bends that knee, so it would be the middle of the knee, the inside of the knee. Because he is so good, and Seth Mason,
Yeah.
Seth Mason
what a
stepping
beast!
up.
Man, a couple times he'd come shooting through that line and just, and we need that against Trinity. I
Yeah.
mean, to me, they're not the Trinity of old where you've got 6'6", 390-pound offensive linemen,
They can be
But-
managed. They
yeah.
can be beat.
but we need all those guys up front. So I hope Mason. I know you're listening, Mason. So or not Mason,
DeAndre.
DeAndre. So
We love you, son. Get
James
better.
will come and massage your knee for you.
Well, and hopefully Colton's back in the lineup this week. We'll see.
Yeah.
Colton's a big hitter, and
He is.
we'll come up and stick his nose in the middle of all that stuff too. So
But Jace is back. Jace is a big force on the team. Love it. Mo, Marcus.
again,
Gosh,
defense played well last night.
They
I
did.
mean, you know,
We've said that for
The highest scoring team in the Metroplex,
13
There you
straight
go.
weeks.
25 points.
Yep.
Yeah.
So do we need to give any credit to Corey Kane?
No.
Or would that be pumping his
No.
He
head
doesn't
up?
know what he's
the
doing.
dude's got a fat head. What
It'd
more
be
do you
pumping
want?
his head up too much.
Yeah, he's got a fat head in his office somewhere.
No, we've got it still.
Corey
do we?
Kane.
Yeah.
What is his middle name? Is it Corey Festus Kane? got to be some great Western middle name.
Corey, will you let us
We
know
wonder.
what your middle name is, please? We'd appreciate that.
So
So,
it better not be Francis.
anyhow, everybody pay attention to Midland Lee and Trinity, and we'll know where we're going to be next week, and we'll do it all over again. So, rest of the state last night in 6A.
Oh my gosh! Well, yeah. Let's talk about
Corey
teams that were
Cooter
talked
King.
up. Atascocita.
I caught a cheetah. I tackled a cheetah. That's
They didn't show up.
what was
They
up
get
with
off the
that.
bus.
I don't know.
I don't know.
I
Well,
don't
you know,
know.
so either they're not that good, competition's not that good, or Katie's just great. I mean, they're world beaters.
They are.
Whatever.
Well, depends on what part of the state you ask.
Ask
Katie,
Garrett Hint.
yeah, Region 3
Ooh,
semifinals. Katy 44, Tascasitas 0.
0. Goose egg.
And North Shore beats Houston Lamar 44-29. So you have a North Shore Katy,
And I picked Lamar. What was I thinking?
North Shore Katy game next week to determine the Region 3 winner.
May you beat each other up.
Region 4, undefeated San Antonio O'Connor
Ooh.
They look
took out
San
Tepper's
Benito.
buddies down at San Benito.
That was a good game, though.
Yeah.
52-43, high scoring game. The
Yeah,
Greyhounds go
defense.
home. They
Is
were
there a
undefeated
D
too.
in San
so-
Benito? No.
No, it's San Benito. So San Antonio O'Connor will get the winner of Los Fresnos, who play today.
Yeah. Way to go, Syntax.
And Aguilar.
Yeah, they're playing down at Los Fresnos.
Aguilar.
And so Lake Travis with the big win over Judson. Do they keep it up, or does Los Fresnos pull the upset? But
Well, you know, it's those disciplined teams.
you know,
man.
you
Dude,
potentially
that's a haul for Lake Travis.
you could potentially be looking at Lake Travis Katy next week or in 2 weeks. That's a good
It's a good
semifinal
matchup.
game.
If I owned a plane, I'd go fly down there and see that game.
Yeah, Region 2, Neil Fonville. Region 2 semis, you got Coppell playing Round Rock Cedar Ridge, 2 11-1 teams tonight playing in Waco.
That ought to be good.
I don't know enough about Cedar Ridge.
I don't either.
Coppell's been playing well. Their only losses to Allen.
Go Cowboys.
And then Saxe, the Miracle. You know, we went and saw the Saxe game last week, and meh is what I say about Saxe. You know, there's a lot of hype, and those kids have brought a lot of hype on themselves, but meh. You know, they struggled. They had to go to overtime.
Rockwell should have won that game.
They made a great goal line stand at the 1 foot line to keep Rockwell out of the end zone in overtime. They advanced to play Pflugerville, Hendrickson today.
between a rock and a weird place.
When was the last time Coppell was this deep in the playoffs?
Last year.
Was it last year?
Remember, they had that unusual
round?
run last year, and they went 3 or 4
4.
rounds.
Yeah,
What year was
four.
it that we played them at Cowboy Stadium?
2008.
Yeah.
The game in which
Yeah,
Matt
second
Brown
round.
gets hurt.
Collarbone breakage.
Tucker took over.
Uzoma. Wachiku.
So you have
Dogging it.
those 4 teams play today, and so you'll know who's in the region finals there. So,
I'll have
and
my earbud in today.
what's that?
He's going to be plugged up.
So, and also, you know, while we're
Whoa.
looking at state results, let's drop down to the Class A 6-man Division II, where the Turkey Valley team beat Follett 94-48 last night.
That's a defensive struggle.
94. Tep, what do you know about Turkey Valley, baby? We need to talk about
What are
that.
they? What's their mascot? It can't be a turkey.
Turkey
Gobblers.
Valley?
The Turkey
Somebody
Valley.
look, Google that real
Gizzards.
quick. You know,
Turkey Valley Gobbles.
what?
The Gizzards.
You
Was
put
that
them in
score you
sitting
just
in.
read off the score of Allen's
Now, what's your
basketball
opinion,
team?
Tap?
No.
Oh.
You know, it's 6-man. Have y'all ever seen 6-man football?
We got to go.
Yeah, I've seen it
We
on
got
TV.
to go. On TV?
So you have seen it?
Yeah.
Yeah. Have you ever been to a game?
They're mostly all high
We
scoring
gotta
games.
You know, it's crazy what they do. Yeah, it's very high scoring, and it's actually a lot of fun. Turkey Valley Trojans, believe it or not.
Wow.
So
It's a Trojan horse.
anyhow, congratulations to Turkey Valley. You know, they win big last night. So that brings you up to date on the state scores
There we are.
that matter. So
Okay.
that's out
It's
of
all
the way.
done.
What
Oh,
was
we
the-
didn't talk
how did-
Division II much.
Wait, how
did
did Plano fare?
which one?
That's right, they weren't in the playoffs. Right?
Plano,
Next year.
bless their hearts. So
Yeah, not next year.
we live to fight another day. Open forum.
I got nothing.
You got nothing? You're not emotional this week?
No, not at all.
All right. Well, I want to give a shout out
2.
Shout.
The Allen Eagle basketball team.
Oh my gosh.
And I don't know. I apologize for this, guys. I've been too much wrapped up in football to know your record. It's either 6-1 or 7-1.
But running and gunning.
A 2-point loss to Duncanville down in the Pearland tournament. which
And that was the last second deal.
it
I
was
believe.
a buzzer beater.
Yeah.
I think. But they're playing in the Colwell Center Invitational this week. They spanked Saxe by 49 Thursday night,
Ouch.
and I think they won by 29 last night against Rowlett. They play sometime today, and I don't know when yet. We're trying to figure that out. But basketball team's rolling. And
They're very, very entertaining.
they are. We went and saw them play West Mesquite, and I've got. Here we go.
I'm looking forward to when they play Plano West.
Yeah,
I think we get a double dose there. Watch the guys have a great game, and then our
Coach Blue Suede Shoes.
our coach from Plano West
Best shoes in
he
basketball.
just adores us.
who did we see them play? West Mesquite.
Yeah.
Well, guess what? They play West Mesquite today at noon.
Oh, my goodness.
Oh, that was a 50-point win.
That was a 50-point win like 2 weeks ago
Hey,
at home.
West Mesquite wants some more of that.
They do.
Oh,
And West
man.
Mesquite is a 5A school. Let's be honest. It'll be.
Oh.
They play at noon, and if they win, they play the championship at 7:30 against the winner of South Garland and Sulphur Springs. So
Go Eagles basketball.
kudos to coaches and that team. It is. It's very entertaining. You want to see points scored, go watch those guys. They got some great shooters, and they get after it, and they're quick, and they're very entertaining. But, yeah, they're doing well, and, bless your hearts, you're kind of buried in everything going on with football right now, but it's a very entertaining event, and
Some
Great way
talented
to spend
kids
a
on that
couple
team.
hours.
yeah, it is. It's a good fun.
Do it.
So, and the other thing I want to say is kudos to the crowd last night. They seemed to get in it pretty quick.
There was a lot of cheering going on last night. I meant to talk to Doc this morning and see
How loud
we actually were, because I know the Martin fans, louder than I've ever heard them before. They came in force, and they were really loud over there. And I was hoping that we were at least as loud, if not louder.
It came across on TV very loud.
Well, there was an announcement. They had microphones up toward the crowd, but there was an announcement. Hey, both teams' bands are to not play while the quarterback is under center.
Yeah, he didn't call out Allen. He called out both, and
But still, there may have been a challenge
in that
push the
stadium, you
limit.
couldn't hear the band anyway.
So
Yeah, really.
where was the band?
Diddle.
They were They were in the
All
south.
right. Upper
But
section,
and then Martin's
upper
band was
section
in the
on
end zone.
Yeah.
But I actually
band
hear them
was-
better.
Well, of course,
you know.
because they're playing
They
towards
were
you.
above the concourse, so I mean, they're all of their
Sound.
noise
Was
sound
going
up.
over.
They
the
could
field.
hear it down in Waco somewhere. Maybe, but
Yeah, it wasn't because we couldn't hear the fight song to clap correctly.
Yeah.
It was way off.
Yeah.
You could definitely hear, especially on the kickoffs. It came across
Oh,
Allen Eagles fight.
By the way,
fight.
we've changed that chant.
yeah.
Instead of Allen Eagle fight, it's Allen Eagles tackle.
Tackle.
I'm game for that.
We got you back, Corey.
Because it was a struggle.
We gotta
It's
emphasize
funny
that.
you bring it, and I didn't get a chance to bring it, but you could see on TV the three runbacks that they had on the kickoffs.
Right.
All three of them, there was blatant holding on their part and no
No
calls until the big
one that
one,
counted.
and they finally got him with a flag, and I'm
Exactly.
like going, "Where's that been all night?"
They'll clean that up. I mean, again, I'm not. That's something that's easily. Well, and a part of, like David said earlier, was the poochers were going a little too deep. But wasn't that great though on the one pooch kick with none of the Martin kids?
Oh my gosh! And they're like going, he came.
We couldn't get there
ran
quick
up.
enough.
He
That'd
ran
be
up,
great.
and the ball just went like this. He's like,
I've never seen that in my life. I was rolling. I was like, okay.
That was a
How far back did that end up? It was like on
like
a
on the
five.
two.
5 or 6.
The thing is that the funniest part of that after that was that everybody in our little section was running around. No, you take it. No, you take it. No, you get it. No, you get it. You get it. That was hilarious.
And some of those hits. Hey, hold him up. I'll hit him.
Crazy night, but it's over. On to the next one.
Kind of like this podcast.
We'll know
7
o'clock tonight.
if not earlier.
Yep, Trinity Middle and Lee play at 4:00 this afternoon.
That's right.
Yep.
Go see the basketball team at noon today if you can. And then again
Curtis
tonight
Colwell Center down in
at
Garland.
7:30. If they win at noon, they play again at 7:30. So
Or y'all can join me in Graham, Texas for a wedding.
yeah, you
Yeah,
can, you
no.
Not.
Graham.
Yay.
can weddings.
Receptions.
Sucks
Overrated.
having kids at this age.
Yeah, for real. Anyhow. Anybody else got anything? Everybody good?
Nothing, honey.
Everybody health? Thad missed you today.
Yep.
All I got to say, World War III next week. Shotwell, Apogee, doesn't matter.
We will cut
Somebody
this
said,
out.
somebody hand me a Slim Jim.
Ooh, snap into a Slim Jim.
Rest in soul.
Oh,
Rest
my
your
God.
soul.
Oh, God rest my soul.
Oh, Ultimate Warrior.
We have all sorts of visitors out here on Saturday morning. So.
You're right.
Congratulations to the Eagles. Go
Way
get
to go,
healthy.
Eagles.
Have a good week of practice, and we'll see who we play next week. So until then, it's
Stand up.
over,
Stand up.
and we're out.